Welcome back to our Oracle card reading for the second half of July 2023. We pull Oracle cards from my brand new Oracle deck, Awakening Intuition, twice a month to get some invitations with how to work with our intuition and psychic ability, how to expand that and ground that. And this deck can also give us some invitations for our self-care, our self-love, and our mindfulness practice. So welcome back again, and you know how this goes. First, I take the cards out of their lovely pouch that everyone is so excited about. So if you get the cards and you get this deck, you'll get this really awesome snuggly pouch that comes in. And you're probably getting familiar with my shuffling method, which everybody has a different one. I like to just put the cards between my palms and activate my palm chakras and just set the silent intention that we are going to pull some cards that will help us work with whatever energies are coming into our life in the second half of July. So then I start shuffling, and I'm looking for a card that really just kind of jumps out and then sticks out. This one came out, it was very subtle, but I saw it, so I'm going to grab this little card rather. And then we'll shuffle again to see if we can get a second card. Okay, that one came out again. It's slight, but it's peeking out and letting me know it wants to be picked. So we'll put that one down. And now we'll get our third card for the second half of July. So there I had a couple, and I'm actually going to take, even though these cards came out, there's a couple there. There's one single card that came out first. I always go with the card that's to this side of me here as the one, and this one came out, so I'm going to pick this one. This is interesting because I'm noticing right away, even though this deck has been shuffled so well, these cards are all from the same color scheme. There's 3 color schemes in the deck. So interesting, they're all from the same color scheme. And let's see what our 3 invitations are for the second half of July. Okay, this is interesting. I'm glad we got this because we got this earlier. So this is a card we pulled recently. Consider third eye eating. So let's read this card again, and we can talk about it again because apparently that's a real theme for some of us lately. Feed your psychic ability. Avoid foods and drinks that make you tired, spacey, cranky, or anxious. Emphasize nutrients that energize, calm, and center you. Healthy eating and consumption of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients may greatly improve the quality of your intuitive hits and expand your intuitive capabilities in general. So again, you all know we've talked about this card before, and we've pulled it before recently. So that seems to be a theme for some of us. And it's not about having a certain diet or restricting yourself from anything necessarily or following a certain rigid food and supplement regime. This is about knowing what works for you and doing it because we're all so different. So what we need as far as medication or supplements or food or drinks can be really different for each individual. But what this card is talking about is as we feed our body the nutrients, the food, the drinks that we know really help it run in an optimal way, that helps ground, expand our psychic abilities. So we often think that the physical realm is very divorced from the mystical realm. Couldn't it be further from the truth? The more you can ground into your physical life, ground into your physical body, and nurture that part of you, especially keeping it as stable as it can be, as optimal as it can be, that really helps expand and ground you so that then you can pull in all that great psychic information. So if you're looking for a way to expand your intuitive and psychic abilities, look no further than taking good care of your body. Remember, this isn't about being perfect, and this also isn't about not having any health issues, whether they're mental, emotional, or physical. Most people do have issues that they are managing, that they are healing through, or just managing. It's just part of their life. So remember, it's not about that. It's about doing what you can do to make this container of your soul as grounded and calm, as optimal as it can be. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just individual for you. I also feel like this could be, because this has come up recently for us in the readings, I do feel like this could be an invitation for us to even look for new tools. There might be some new tools that come onto your intuitive radar that you can help protect and nurture your body with. It might even be saying, let me go to my healthcare provider. I haven't been for a checkup in a while. I haven't seen my naturopath in a while. My massage therapist that I love, let me give that person a call. So it could even be in the second half of July. We're doing some tune-up things for ourselves and reaching out to others for help as well. So let's look at the second card. All right, this already seems to be a theme here for us. Balance, intuition, and practicality. I think we could all agree that taking care of your physical life and taking care of your physical body is really practical, and we file that in the practical category. Again, practical stuff and intuition are not separate. They're things that are very well married. So let's read this card. Balance, intuition, and practicality. Intuition and practicality are partners. Your practical side, as well as your past experiences, deserve your attention and respect. By balancing your sixth sense guidance with practicality now, you create a grounded and ideal path forward. How can your intuitive insights be implemented in practical ways? So we've talked about this card before. We've pulled it before. I don't think as recently as we've pulled the third eye eating card. But what I'm feeling called to say as I ask my own intuition what I can say that's helpful about this card is it's very common that we get an intuitive insight about our life. Oh my gosh, I've got this really strong gut feeling that I need to go this way. I got a synchronicity about this. I know I'm supposed to take action on it. My own four clairs, my own internal psychic system, which we talk about a lot in the deck, is sending me so many messages about this vision I'm having for my life or my work or my health or my finances, where people can get very tripped up. And if this happens to you, it's very common that we don't try and ground that in the physical plane again and say, what are some practical action steps I can take to start inching towards this? What are some small manageable steps I can take? Sometimes it's a big step you have to take and more of a leap of faith. But I think what really we're seeing so far for the theme for the second half of July is let's land the plane. Let's get this on the ground. Let's get an action plan. Let's get really into our earthy life. And yeah, I can be having these great intuitive mystical insights and epiphanies and synchronicities, but how do I do that in a practical way in my life right now? So that's something that if you struggle with that, most people do. But remember, it's just about reminding yourself that the reason you're getting those intuitive epiphanies and those mystical insights is so you can ground them in a physical way and work with them in your life. That's the whole point of getting them. That's why you're getting them. Spirit wants you to be able to do that. So I'm so excited to see what this last card is. Ooh, unleash your imagination. It's another card we've pulled before. There are 64 cards in this deck, but I like that we're pulling some cards we've pulled before because these just might be themes that are really in the collective right now. So let's read this one. Unleash your imagination. You may be limiting your intuition by limiting your imagination. Expand your idea of what's possible now in your life and in the world while staying grounded, surrendered, and flexible. Unleash your imagination in general by indulging in a fun, creative hobby. Daydreams lead to real-life manifestations. Okie dokie, I like this. So unleash your imagination. As you know, the card talks about sometimes we can limit what we think is possible for us in the present or the future because, of course, we have our own past experiences or our own ideas about what's possible. And And those two, again, can be married. So I think this is still about being very practical, but it's realizing that if I am having a vision for my life that's slightly new, maybe something I haven't accomplished before, haven't tried to accomplish, haven't thought might even be possible for me, maybe in the second half of July, the message I'm getting is, hey, this is possible. And you don't just think that it's a vision that's happening for no reason, or it's just wishful thinking, or, my imagination is running away with me. All that can be true, but what this card speaks to is your own imagination and your own daydreams actually giving you clues to what you can manifest in your life right now. Very exciting. So instead of saying, I can't do that, or I don't think that's possible, or I've never tried that before, or I'm not even sure how I do that, say, look, let me see if I get some further intuitive guidance about how I can take practical action steps towards this. And you can ask your intuition for that. I need some practical action steps or some synchronicities that show me. You can also ask other people. Of course, always ask experts in their field, and you can ask friends and family. But it's about, or get a second opinion on your own intuition from an intuitive. But really, I think for the second half of July, we're meant to expand our idea of what's possible for us right now and in the future, find practical action steps. They can be baby steps, be really small and manageable, and how we can start inching towards that. Or we might be given the opportunity where it comes in really quickly, it manifests really quickly. We get an opportunity to move that forward fast. And then we can ground ourselves, whether we're going through changes or we're just trying to optimize our intuition, with just taking really good care of that physical body. That is a practical action step you can always do to expand your intuition. It grounds your nervous system when you take good care of the physical body. And your nervous system is how a lot of psychic information comes in. So feels very exciting this second half of July. And it's interesting, I wore my Aries shirt today because I'm an Aries sun sign, and I am not an astrologist at all, but astrology for me is kind of a fun hobby that I like to study. So I know the North Node is moving into Aries here in the second half of July. And so that's the collective North Node. So there are going to be, and there's a couple other things switching, big things in the second half of July in the planets. So it could be unlocking some new potential in our lives. And there might be some limits that we have preconceived ideas about on our life or on ourselves that maybe just aren't true anymore. Maybe they were true in the past and they may not be as true now. So that's very exciting. And I love this energy for the second half of July. And I love doing these videos. So thank you so much for being here with me for the second half of July as we practice our third eye eating. We do our practical steps to use our intuitive guidance in practical ways. And we unleash our imagination and realize that's part of our intuitive system. We'll see you back here for the 1st of August, when we will do a brand new reading with 3 cards and see what kind of invitations and energies we can work with in the first half of August. So I will see you back here in 2 weeks, and we will pull new cards from this deck, which you can get. It's out now. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or wherever you like to get your decks, your local bookstore, your local metaphysical shop. Be sure and support those places. And you can subscribe to this channel to be the first to learn about videos. Sometimes we'll do other videos besides just the regular card reading videos. And there's also links to get any of my books and my calendar, my other products below this video. Thank you again, and I am wishing you all a very, very blessed, productive, and peaceful second half of July. Thank you for your feedback about my new deck, Awakening Intuition. I'm so excited that it's out now. You can get your copy at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or check your local bookstore. And if you're a sensitive person looking for relationship tools, check out my book, Empath Heart: Relationship Strategies for Sensitive People.